God. Okay.
Good gracious.
Is that a shock?
It's a lot more than I thought, yeah.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
What if a £1 charity shop purchase turned out to be worth £2,000? Or a tiny family ring turned out to contain a diamond worth as much as £25,000? Today, we're counting down 7 incredible Antiques Roadshow discoveries that were worth far more than their owners expected. And number 1 is something you could easily overlook. Number 7, the £1 Mughal ring. She bought this ring for just £1, thinking the stone was probably glass. But the expert noticed something unusual about the ring's design. Then came the test that changed everything.
What does that tell me it is?
It could be a stone.
It's a diamond.
Wow.
It's a diamond. But it's cut in a most unusual way.
That glass was actually a diamond, and the surrounding stones, rubies. Even more surprising, the ring was made from 22-karat gold and featured a rare Mughal-style diamond cut.
Your £1 investment, you see, is worth £2,000.
Wow. I think I'll take it out of the drawer now and wear it.
That £1 charity shop find was worth £2,000. Number 6, the £3,000 Liberty necklace. This young woman received the necklace from her grandmother for her 18th birthday. She was so overwhelmed that she cried for nearly 40 minutes.
Belongs to me. I was given it by my granny for my 18th birthday, which was in December. And it's family heirloom, so it was my great aunt's.
But she was about to discover another reason to be emotional.
Before I come on to the stones themselves, let's look at the main thing about this, which is the name Liberty. Liberty are so important in the world of jewellery, particularly jewellery that was made when this was made, which is around about the turn of the century. So this is actually made in about 1905.
The necklace was made by Liberty around 1905. And despite those beautiful blue stones looking like turquoise, they're actually blue glass set on gold, alongside pearls and moonstones. The final surprise?
When you wear it for your ball with your dove grey dress, you need to consider the fact that round your neck you're wearing £3,000 of necklace.
Oh God. Okay. Right.
£3,000. She wasn't just wearing a family heirloom, she was wearing £3,000 around her neck. If you love discovering incredible treasures hiding in ordinary families, subscribe to Roadshow Heirlooms. Number 5, the 18th century revival jewel. This jewel looks like it came straight out of 18th century France. But there's a catch. It isn't actually from the 18th century.
What date do you think it is?
Well, I think it's probably early Victorian, about 1840.
1845, 1850 would be about the latest I would put on it, and it's very much 1840. It's very pretty jewellery, I have to say. I mean, it sounds a slightly odd thing to say, but jewellery of that period was very feminine.
It's a 19th century revival piece featuring blue enamel, diamonds, a ruby, and even a hidden locket. The owner wasn't even sure it was real, but she loved wearing it because it made her feel.
Means that buyers would be very excited to see one like this, and I think in auction, £1,000 to £1,500 for it.
And that feeling came with a £4,500 to £5,000 price tag. Number 4, the Victorian gold almanac. This tiny gold object almost went to someone else. After the owner's grandmother died, the family drew straws to decide who got first pick of her belongings. She got the 4th straw. Luckily, the others chose practical things like knives and forks. She chose this. Inside was an 1840 paper almanac filled with fascinating details about Victorian London.
It came from my grandmother. My maternal grandmother was raised in Ireland, and it came to me because my mother, when she died about 8-9 years ago, there were a whole lot of artifacts from my grandmother which she wanted to divide up between myself, my sister, and my 2 cousins.
And the expert's potential bid?
And it's a very rare sight, and I think this is a very enviable object, and with envy of course comes value. I mean, if this were, and it isn't going to happen, but if it turned up for sale, it would excite an enormous amount of interest. I mean, I'd want it really badly, and I would bid, my goodness, what would I bid? I'd bid £5,000, £6,000.
Good gracious.
£5,000, £6,000, and maybe even more. Essentially, a beautiful object made to be admired rather than used. Number 3, Grandma's £8,000 jewelry collection. Her grandmother left her an entire cabinet of Georgian and Victorian jewelry. There were gold chains, mourning rings, diamonds, and pieces dating back nearly 2 centuries.
My grandmother handed it down to me when she passed away a few years ago at the age of 102.
Goodness gracious me.
So,
well, now look at that.
She left all this
Look at that.
for me as
Because
well.
here we have a veritable cabinet of curiosities.
The expert began adding up the individual pieces, but then he revealed something incredible.
So, from what looks like a fairly sort of straight Sheffield plate set, which is worth maybe no more than around about £300, you've got a lower tier drawer, which is probably worth £8,000.
God. Oh, I didn't realise that.
One drawer alone was worth around £8,000. The owner had no idea, and that's why you should never assume that old jewelry sitting in a family drawer is worthless. Subscribe to Roadshow Heirlooms because you never know what could be hiding in your own family history. Number 2, the £10,000 bumblebee. This woman chose the little brooch from her mother's belongings, but she wasn't even sure it was real. Then the expert discovered the original box, and inside was the name Lacloche Frères, a prestigious jewelry maker that competed with Cartier.
Bumblebee brooch, or at least a bee brooch, and a Victorian one, but actually, thanks to the box, which has been rather carefully preserved, we know perfectly well that it was made by a firm called Lacloche Frères.
It's terribly difficult
Terribly
to decipher.
Isn't it? But it's absolutely there. They're a very distinguished firm, running in competition with Cartier.
The tiny Victorian bumblebee was covered in sapphire, diamonds, and rubies. The family had previously valued it at around £4,000, but the expert thought collectors would want it badly.
By a superb maker, and everybody wants this thing, honestly they do, and value is to do with measured want. That's all that value is, and I'm going to tell you that in measured want that's £10,000. God.
£10,000. For a little bumblebee, the family didn't even know was real. Number 1, the tiny blue diamond ring. And finally, the discovery that could be worth the most. The expert immediately points out that this tiny ring is the sort of thing that could easily pass people by.
It's a typical late Victorian type of setting. You've got a gold ring, which is gypsy set with a stone. Plain gold, broad trumpet front to it, typically the sort of thing that you would see in around about the late Victorian period. Now, the blue stone is in fact a diamond. And that makes it very special indeed.
But that little blue stone wasn't sapphire, it was a blue diamond. And blue diamonds with this kind of color are incredibly rare. The expert says he might only see one every year or two. But valuing something this unusual isn't simple. The stone would need specialist certification. Then the expert gives a comparison.
So, looking at a kind of a precedent that's been set, a diamond that was a round, brilliant cut, that is a more modern cut stone, that weighed 1/3 of a carat, 0.32. Remembering, I'm assessing this at around about 0.4 to 0.45.
Another blue diamond had sold for $42,000 US, but he refuses to promise that kind of money. His estimate?
Believe it or not, US 42,000.
Good God.
That's 132,000 a carat. Now, it would be very dangerous indeed to sit here and say that that diamond is going to be worth that kind of money.
£10,000 to £25,000. A tiny Victorian ring, potentially worth £25,000. 7 discoveries, from £1 to £25,000. And almost every owner thought they were holding something ordinary. If you enjoyed these incredible finds, subscribe to Roadshow Heirlooms for more hidden treasures from Antiques Roadshow. and tell us, which one would you have wanted to find?